For this friendly warning. So Bala, if I had known that you're going to introduce a one-year-old customer, I would have not exchanged my session with you at all. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure and honor to be here, and especially addressing such a wonderful crowd of entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs. And I must congratulate ICT Academy of Tamil Nadu for organizing this wonderful event. Personally, I'm very, very passionate about talking to entrepreneurs. And there were some failed attempts in my career also to be an entrepreneur, but I never really gone that distance. But I always got a huge respect for entrepreneurs. That's one of the reasons why, amidst the odds, I wanted to be here and make use of this wonderful opportunity. So thank you for that, for this opportunity. Like everyone else, when I said that I have got a great respect for entrepreneurs, I know that, I did this, homework before when I was really taking the final plunge. I was doing all the homework of, I understand this is a social obligation. Government alone cannot create jobs. So it's a responsibility of all educated people like us to start a company so that we can create meaning. Whole lot of things I have gone through the qualification. Also, you've got a family. Then you have to make sure that financially you created security for them. I did all of them. So one day, one of my old friend came to my office, and he came to invite me for his new, one of the startup companies. He was starting a lab. So I was few days away from taking this, final nice plunge into being an entrepreneur. So I asked him, tell me, what is that, 2-3 things that really differentiated from, you from being an employee like me and suddenly becoming an entrepreneur. He destroyed my whole plan of entrepreneurship in 2 minutes time. He said, first thing he said is, first of all, I created a nice, escape route. In case my venture fails, how will I really get back to the job? So I made sure that I spoke to my manager. When you're leaving a company after 12 years or so that they will say that, okay, the doors are always open, you can come back anytime. But all those things you'll realize only when you leave the company, the doors are not really open. Anyway, I built my plan around that. So this guy said, first of all, if you have any escape route, just shut it off. He told me that don't keep any exit route if you want to be an entrepreneur. There goes 50% of my confidence. Second time he said was that, Damu, if you want to be an entrepreneur, don't keep failure as an option. So that ended my entrepreneur dream. So I continued my job. So let me go back to my presentation. So here, this is purely put together for budding entrepreneurs, and all these things that Bala said or everyone else is going to talk about are, all this song and dance is what? You are going to create a business and you're going to find a commercial buyer, someone who's going to pay for your product, okay? Now I'm going to take it over from there. Then I'm sure you would have heard enough advices from a lot of people how to start a company, how to incubate a company. Now I'm going to tell you that if you had started a company, you've got a customer, how to retain him. My whole focus is going to be on that only. This is what I'm going to cover. So in the interest of time, let me see how much can I cover in this. So quick background. Because it's an afternoon session, I want to make sure that to break a monotony, I put some cartoons just to make the session light. So don't miss the message. Some of them I've captured in the bottom of the screen. We are coming from a backdrop where, do you remember this? In 1901, Henry Ford said that you can buy any color as long as it's black. From that, and today, do you think you can run any business with this kind of a philosophy? Time has changed. I'm going to introduce, what is this customer satisfaction? I'm talking about you, when you acquire a customer, how important the customer is to you. And it's important to understand what is customer satisfaction. In very, very simple terms, customer satisfaction is the difference between perception of what they got and what they expected. As simple as that. So if they perceive what they got is more than what they expected, they are going to leave a positive impression about your product or service. Okay. So what is the big deal about that? Is it that whatever customer is demanding, you're going to give it to them? Is that what is customer satisfaction? I don't think so. So you have to make sure that customer is perceived that the value that he got for what he paid for. This question, whether you are making a product, you will always come across this question, whether replace or retain, whether you replace the product or make or buy decision. You must have heard of this. And in an organization, you will see whether to retain an employee is good or hire a person is the right thing to do. Same thing when it comes to the question of whether to retain an old customer when there is a trouble, or you acquire a new customer. What is really going to be more easy, not easy, but what is going to be more expensive? Obviously, acquiring a new customer is going to be expensive, but how expensive? Will it be same as new, or twice or thrice? This is the history has proved time and again that it is 5 times more expensive to acquire a new customer. Just look at the quote in the bottom, the Susan mentioned about in the art of war. In any well-positioned enemy, when enemy is well-positioned, to replace him or dethrone him, it takes at least 3 times the force. When everything else is equal, you need 3 times the force to displace him. Do you remember the Kargil war? Do you think we were really fighting a full-fledged army there? We were fighting only the extremists with no shoes at all. There's no drinking water. They were drinking only the melted ice, which were melted by the bombshells. The whole water was completely contaminated with the bombshell and the chemicals. People were drinking those things and they were fighting the Indian army because they were sitting in a very strategic position. That's what will happen to us when your customer is, when a well-positioned enemy needs to be replaced, you need 3 times the force given everything else being equal. Okay, why is it so important? Why are we saying that, customer is paying for it and you're giving a product or service. So what is this big deal about customer is so important? Traditionally, it takes months to build a loyal customer. I mean, I don't want to get into the definition of what is loyalty. It varies from product to product and service to service. But in simple terms, it takes months to build a customer. I'm sure you'll agree with me. But in today's world, it doesn't even take more than seconds to lose. The tragedy is in internet world, you don't even know that you lost a customer. If you are running your business on internet commerce, if a site is down 3 times, or even twice, do you think 3rd time someone is going to visit your site at all? Even if you really revamped your site and you have really offered much better services, nobody's going to even look at that. So that's the kind of environment that we are today staying at. Again, just one more point on why is it so important. There is a loop of study that I put together. Why do you lose a business? Why do you lose a customer? Is it because of the high cost or inferior product or poor service? History shows that it is because of poor service, not because of poor quality, or is it because of inferior product or a price reason. All of us will think, if you ask a salesman, why did you lose a sale? He will say that it's too expensive. Competition is selling 20% lower. But the reality is not that. The reality is because of the poor service. Okay, so this is an interesting point. So, when you have a satisfied customer, if you really delighted him, probably he might go and share that experience with maximum 4 or 5 people. Okay, but if you have a very, very bad experience, if a customer has got a very bad experience, and especially if it's going to be a sensation, you are a market leader and the customer had a very poor experience, I'm telling you, it's sensational to go and talk a bad experience of a market leader. So that guy will go and actively tell at least 20 people. Okay, so what does it mean? For every bad customer that you created, you have to go ahead and satisfy at least 4 or 5 customers to stay where you are. It is that difficult. Let me try and take you through some. This is a busy chart. I deliberately kept it this way, but let me try and demystify this for you. If you look at this, this is, I'm talking about this 25 customers, what you're seeing on this side. Suppose if you create 25, sorry about that, 25, dissatisfied customer, only one of them will choose to come back and tell you that he has got a bad experience with you. That's the reality. Okay. And out of that, once, if you have 10 such people who are coming back and telling you, only one of them will choose to come and continue to do business with you. It's very, very scary thought, okay? So if you look at this, out of the 25 people, each one of them will go and actively tell 5 to 8 people, very actively they will go and tell. They will in turn tell another 5 people. I don't want you